think it's fairly obvious to anyone who has lurked in the Tarkov community for literally any amount of time that the Vector is up there as one of the most hated weapons in Tarkov, right up there with the KS-23. And something I've come to notice while reading through moaning and complaining Reddit threads and all the good stuff on Discord is that people are almost always talking about the 9mm variant. Whereas the 9mm Vector is constantly, either complained about or there are people willing to die on a hill for this thing. Everyone kind of forgets that the 45 ACP Vector exists. Like, honestly, it's like the redheaded stepchild that everyone kind of forgets about until they've either picked one up or they died to one. That's literally the only time people ever, take a look at this thing. And I don't really understand why this is the case, because this thing should easily be one of the most overused and overrun weapons in Tarkov, in my opinion. Ammo. Though you can sometimes see people running around with Vectors loaded with 7N31, if you're not on labs, you're much more commonly going to run into people who are rocking AP 6.3. This ammo can sell out really darn quickly, and it's more expensive than 45 ACP. 45 ACP AP is almost always available because literally no one runs it, and the best part about it is that it's literally a direct upgrade to AP 6.3 despite the fact that it is cheaper. The only thing that AP 6.3 does have on top of 45 ACP AP is in fact projectile velocity, but let's be real, if you're engaging somebody at more than, 20 yards with this thing, you really probably should not be using an SMG. Next, let's talk about the gun itself. The 45 ACP Vector has a slight increase in recoil, but it is literally so minuscule that it is barely worth mentioning. It's still below 40 recoil, guy. Come on. If you can't handle a 6 recoil difference between 29 recoil and 35, I don't know what to tell you. I hereby diagnose you with skinny arms. The only big noticeable difference in recoil is it does tend to bounce side to side a little bit more, but my thing is that difference is really only noticed if you're either using a big optic or you're shooting somebody at range, which, once again, you're using an SMG. Could you technically get the job done? Yeah. Should you be trying to do that? No. Then there's rate of fire. Here is the rate of fire for the 9mm Vector, and here is the rate of fire for the 45 ACP Vector. That's kind of scary. Keep in mind that this absolutely jacked rate of fire is accompanied with ammo that is a direct upgrade to AP 6.3. Seriously, it kills people so incredibly fast that I am more often than not calling out that I see somebody while spraying, and before I say, there's a guy over there, he's already dead, and then I'm like, okay, well, he's dead. It makes me seem a lot better than I am. It's awesome.
I'm by the blue container.
Shit, he saw me.
I killed something. I don't know if it was a player or a guard. Oh, he blacked my arm in one. Got him! Suck it, nerd!
You got him?
Yeah.
This gun shreds like no other. It's actually freaking terrifying. Now that I've finished putting this weapon on a pedestal, I should probably address the maybe 2 bad things about it that make the 9mm variant a bit more attractive. To be honest, there's really only one, since the second problem is really just bullet velocity. AP 6.3 has a decently faster bullet than 45 ACP AP, and if you're rocking 7N31, then that is a much faster bullet. So if you prefer to shoot people at a bit more of a range and you want your bullets to constantly hit exactly where you're pointing them and you don't really want to worry about a slower bullet, then yeah, I can understand that. But to be fair, I will say it again. I have said it 3 times. I will say it again. You're using an SMG. 90% of your battles are going to be within 20 yards. This really does not have much of an effect. With that out of the way, the big thing that I think is holding people back from using this weapon is mag capacity. You see, Battlestate decided to give the Vector a 50-round magazine. It is kind of disgusting with that. You can hold that son of a gun down for a solid, 5 to 6 to 7 seconds. I don't want to do the math. It's a long time you're able to hold that thing down, and you're able to kill quite a few people with it. However, the 45 ACP Vector really only provides a 30-round magazine, and with the high rate of fire, this is a similar problem that the MP9N has, you're gonna be reloading quite a bit. To be fair though, hitting shots with the Vector is stupidly easy. If you are on your own and you have to face a squad, then yes, I can see that it can become a bit of a problem sometimes, and it is annoying to deal with, and having the extra 20 rounds to deal with other enemies after you kill the first person can be extremely helpful. But if you're facing a solo person, they should be dead in the first magazine. And if you didn't kill them, well, I'm sorry, but your accuracy is not very good. Or if you are in a squad, this problem goes away completely because you have a guy to back you up while you constantly shove a new magazine into your gun, and next thing you know, you're good to go for another 4-second burst, and in that time, you've probably wiped out half the population of Russia, so So use this thing. It's good. I made this whole video just to talk about this weapon, so I can say in the end, 45 ACP Vector equals good. Now, I hear some of you saying, why would you do this? Why have you forsaken us? Why have you told these people that they should use the Vector and it's really good? My first answer is, A, it's not a KS-23. And B, I'm not Pestily, I am not Landmark. People are not instantly going to go to the hill, run to the flea market, and purchase as many of these things as possible because I had a rant in my room for 15 minutes about how this thing is super good. I actually just dressed up in this big old freaking uniform with gloves and everything so to complete the meme of me wearing this darn helmet. I think this is what going insane feels like.